Welcome back, Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. Coming up at 8 o'clock, our morning skate with Brooks Lake. Talk about the Caps as they take on Edmonton tomorrow night. So far this season, they haven't lost. Well, they've lost twice in shootout, but you get a point for those. So they don't have a loss in the loss column.
Yeah,
that's the way it works.
They're technically undefeated.
The thing we got to talk to him about is obviously the shoulder injury.
Yeah, right. So we'll talk to him about that.
Because he is injured again.
We have Sean O'Hara from the NFL Network as we go around the NFL. Spencer Tillman will join us at 8:40 to talk some college football. But we wanted to talk about cakes in Aruba. We had this poker tournament at Maryland Live about 6 weeks back, I would say.
Right.
And the junkie who lasted the longest would go to Aruba to compete in this $200,000 tournament. And it's perfect timing to talk about how cakes fared because in just a couple weeks, we have the Junkies Poker Open. That's back at the Borgata. We're going to be in Atlantic City in a couple weeks, November 6th, in fact, back at the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. You got to go to junkiespokeropen.com to register. Do that now. I put it up on the Junkies Facebook page. There's a direct link right there, and we have all the updates of cakes in Aruba on that Junkies Facebook page. But junkiespokeropen.com, it's November 6th, brought to you by Potomac Metal. So perfect time to talk about Cakes' run in Aruba. And now some people believe that Cakes is the favorite in Atlantic City. Here's the deal.
It's not really how it works.
I went on to pokernews.com early, like 1:15, because the tournament started yesterday, which was day 2 officially, after he had grinded through 14 hours on day 1 for him, which was Saturday in Aruba. He advanced to day 2. Now, they had a day 1B on Sunday, and there were 52 players who were going to start at 1 p.m. yesterday in Aruba. And at about 1:15, I go to pokernews.com, and the headline says, Auville continues his run good.
Yes.
And here's the story. So this is 1:15 yesterday. John Auville has chipped up in impressive fashion, moving to 170,000 in chips, with the majority of those coming when he cracked pocket aces with queens.
He did it again.
He did it at least twice.
Would flop to give Auville a massive double up, and he's won a few more pots since then to move his stack to where it currently sits. Auville smiled. Guess I haven't used up all my run good.
Nice.
So he was up 115,900 chips from where he started about 15 minutes in. And I then went to the chip count, and he was sitting in at 3rd or 4th place.
Right.
So with 50 guys, about 50 guys left in the tournament, he was in 3rd or 4th place.
You got to understand, though, those things change dramatically from moment to moment.
Still a great run, though, to get to that spot.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So then,
and again, you have to have some luck on your side, which he obviously did.
So then throughout the day, I'm putting the updates on the Junkies Facebook page, and I'm checking to see how he's doing in the chip count.
People are feverishly refreshing pokernews.com.
I'm
everything.
doing the same thing, refreshing, and I'm seeing other people are getting knocked out. And he's playing there with a ton of poker pros. And then Cakes, you could tell that Cakes was kind of sitting on like 170,000 chips for a long time. Like I kept going 100, like for probably 45 minutes to an hour. He was sitting on 170,000, probably waiting for, the right cards to play because he didn't have to rush it.
By the way, the way it works, that just means that his stack hadn't really been updated.
Right.
Unless it had taken a dramatic
But there
hit.
were a lot of guys who were in the 40,000 to 60,000 chip range. So he was sitting pretty. And then he lost a big hand, and he dropped down to like 80,000. And then you're just thinking, can he hold on to be in the money? Because the top 15 finishers would cash.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 25 remaining, and Cakes at one point was sitting at 19th. And then he was like 17 out of 20. And you're just wondering if he could hold on. And I believe we've tracked down Cakes, and he can tell us himself how he fared in the $200,000 tournament.
Cakes? Johnny Cakes Auville?
Ricky, it's your boy coming to you from Aruba.
Johnny Cakes Helmuth.
So, Cakes, tell us
first
about
of
the
all,
beginning of the day when you won the monster hand to put you in like 3rd or 4th place in the tournament.
Hold on. What was that? I'm trying to refresh what hand that was.
That was your Queens versus
Aces, right?
Aces.
Oh, yeah, that was
You tripled up early, according to all reports.
I got dealt pocket queens, and I raised it up around to a guy who started Hollywooding it up with his pocket aces.
So for reference, what were the blinds at this point?
At this point, the blinds had to be probably 1,000, 2,000,
right.
somewhere in that range, 500 antes at
Okay.
that point.
I could tell you exactly. It was $1,000, $2,000, $300 ante.
Yeah, he's
300
close.
antes. Okay, so I probably bump it up to, I don't know, I'm guessing 7,500, something like that with pocket queens. And I've got this guy covered. But, you know, he puts on the Hollywood act, then slow rolls his aces after his all-in call.
Right.
And then the poker gods got him because Karma got him with the slow roll, and I flopped the queen and took all of his chips.
Because you were bitter when he slow rolled you, right?
A little bit. It was more.
Explain
you know,
to people what that is for people that don't know.
Well, I mean, he knew he had the best hand, and instead of just flipping it over and being a good dude, he was a bit of an ass about it.
He was hemming and hawing. He was waiting.
Yeah. So he flipped him over, and then my dealer, I'm telling you, I had this Aruban dealer, this skinny brother named Sticks, who was all he was doing was dealing me big fat winning hands. He dealt me the hand early in the tournament where I cracked the pocket aces with my pocket kings.
Right.
Where he flopped me quad kings.
Right.
Yeah.
To keep me in the tournament. I mean, that's the only thing that kept me in the tournament.
Right.
At that point.
Well, there's also another story here, John, and you could talk about this later on. I guess after you take a hit, you actually went all in, it looks like, on ace king, and you were going up against
jacks.
Some guy named Aristoteles NATO.
Well, he's now
who had a pair of jacks.
Yeah, he's now the chip leader. So this is after the dinner break when we come back, and I have about 92K left in chips, and there's about 20 or 25 people, so we're getting close to the bubble. So I'm desperate for a double up at this point.
How many big blinds do you have at that point? About 20 big blinds or less?
Yeah, it's probably because at that point I had 92K in chips, and the blinds at that point had to be like.
It was 25. It was 2,500 5 with a $500 ante.
Yeah, so I mean the blinds were just victimizing me with my stack at that point. So I look down and what do I see? Oh, ace king of clubs.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's an insta ship hand for me at that point.
Right.
With all with the blinds being where they are. So I ship it in. It gets down to the guy with jacks. He thinks about it for maybe 15 seconds, but he's got a monster stack. So of course he's going to call. So he flips over his jacks, and of course it's my man Sticks again dealing.
Right.
Okay.
So you're feeling confident.
Well, I wasn't that confident because I stand up and I look at the flop, and the flop is just
blanks.
Three big giant bricks. It was like 2, 3, 5 of hearts at that point. So I'm like, oh, that's just a dreadful flop. Then he burns the
Well, you got
card
the straight
before-
draw. You got the straight draw.
I do have that. He burns the next card, turns me an ace of spades.
Okay.
Wham.
Yeah.
Boom.
Magic card right there.
Right.
That doubles me up. That propelled me into the cash.
Well, you still had to fade 2 jacks on that last
deal.
deal.
Of course. I had to dodge that bullet. But
So now you were actually in like 9th position out of 18 or 19 people, and you eventually did make the top 15. But tell us what happened in the end, because you obviously pushed in and were eliminated in 15th place.
So the top 15 got paid?
Top 15 got paid.
Wow.
So before I talk about the last hand, let me just say that at the end table that I was at, I was sandwiched between. You can Google these guys. I was sandwiched between Joe Ebanks.
Okay.
He's won a WSOP bracelet. He was on my right, and he had a chip fortress of about 500,000 K in chips, and another guy, Ryan Franklin, to my left. He's an online pro. He's a killer.
Right.
And then this dope is sitting in between them.
With your Caps jersey, looked good. A lot of people, by the way, on the Facebook page were loving the Caps hoodie.
Oh, I have to bring a hoodie always to the casino. It's always chilly
Did
in
you
the poker
feel
room.
intimidated by these guys at the table? Or were you
Not
drinking?
a lot. I mean,
Were you drinking at the table?
I was not drinking at the table. I reserved the drinking for the off hours.
I think you were drinking
he's
on
professional,
day. You weren't
Jason.
drinking on day one because some people noted that you had. It looked like an Aruban beer.
I did have. I probably did. Once I stayed in the tournament after I cracked the aces, I probably did go grab a beer.
Right.
To celebrate that.
Why not?
But the deeper I got into it, I wasn't drinking at the table.
Right.
So so toward the end, I probably had 70 or 80K in chips, and at this point, the blinds were just enormous for my stack. And I'm on the button, so I had position, and I had ace-8 offsuit, and I said, well, This is an ace with a decent kicker. I'm shipping it in.
And you were first to act, right? So no one else had gotten in?
Yeah, nobody else. It was just the blinds. So
Right.
It came around to me, and I shipped it in 80K. And the guy to my left, Franklin, snap calls. He has ace jack. You know, of course he's going to do that. He's got me way covered. And so I didn't catch an 8 on the way out. So that was it. Got bounced. Go ahead.
So you finished 15th out of 150.
Yeah.
That's incredible,
It's a
Ron.
great run, dude. Proud of you. Here's how they described it on PokerNews.com. It said a short stack. John Allville moved all in first stack from late position for approximately 80,000 with ace 8. Was called by Ryan Franklin, one to his left. Franklin held ace jack and would flop an unnecessary jack to send the popular Washington, D.C. sports talk radio host off to collect his 15th place winnings of $4,350.
Yep. I've got it in my plastic bag in my backpack.
Did you tip Sticks at all?
After Sticks,
Yeah, go ahead.
After Sticks hooked me with like the fourth ridiculous hand of the tournament, I shipped him a 20 right across the table. I didn't even wait till the end of the tournament. I said, even if I don't cash, I have to hook you because you've been hooking me with amazing hands. And I did tip the rest of the staff. I wasn't an adult like I was at the Borgata a few years ago when I actually made some money up there.
Well, Cakes, a lot of people.
All right, hold on.
A lot of people on the Junkies Facebook page have said you're the favorite now for JPO. People need to register now. JunkiesPokerOpen.com because the JPO is less than 3 weeks away. It is November 6th.
Fellas, let me say this. I just want to thank everybody, and I was overwhelmed by the support from people back home during the event because look, do people. I didn't think anybody was going to care about the exploits going on down here, but there were so many people on Twitter.
Oh, they were pumped.
That were supporting, the run down here and the event. It's a great event put on by the PPC, so I want to thank them. But yeah, I was really blown away by all the people on Twitter that were, kind of hanging on the moment. As to what was going on down here. So I want to say thanks to them.
Of course. PokerNews.com in the poker world is it's like the website out there. And you were kind of like the lead story there a few times. And when you were winning these big pots, did they ever come over and interview you?
Oh yeah, they had a reporter. I can't remember his name. Nice guy, reporter that was jotting down everybody's chip stacks, and he would come. He would do updates when there were big hands going down.
But they didn't do a video interview. Is there any of that online?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
It was more just he's blogging throughout.
What did you do on your off day?
The off day,
which was Sunday, right?
I slept a lot. I probably worked in a whistle.
Right. Probably.
All right.
I went to the pool.
Do you have a deep dark tan now?
Oh yeah.
Was there a sports book there?
There's definitely a sports book. And it looks just like an ATM. You got to feed money into it and bet NFL losers.
I heard him just keep betting on the Chargers.
I had the Chargers in a parlay.
I would have done them too.
Do you know how good my parlay looked after the Packers boat raced the Panthers? And then all the Chargers had to do was win by 4. Of course, they lose.
Hey, so when are you coming back today or tomorrow?
I'm leaving Aruba 3:30 this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to be until well after midnight.
What is that resort like? Is it really nice?
Oh, it's nice, man. The Radisson's really nice. Right on the it's beachfront. It's impressive.
Are there any sillies down there? Any talent?
There might be a few sillies.
That's a yes. From Cakes, that's a strong yes.
Most of
they're probably working girls too.
Most of my time here has been spent indoors.
Shocker.
In paradise.
Shocker. So today,
hey, though, congratulations, dude. I mean, you grinded through 14 hours on Saturday. You get a little respite on Sunday, maybe worked in a whistle, and then you were back at it yesterday against all those pros, and you finished top 15. That's all.
And I did manage to crowbar my maiden voyage into the 2-5 game here at the casino.
Well, of course, you're sitting on 4K.
Yeah, so you got to do what you got to do.
And how did you do there?
Oh, I lost 200, but
that's nothing.
Hey, your flight doesn't leave for another 8 hours. Just go down and play a few hands.
That's true.
Cakes.
Yeah.
The over/under on whistles was 5. You set the number at 5.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're way under.
Way under.
He's been busy.
Under. Yeah.
Hey, Cakes.
Yeah, been a busy man.
I'm disappointed.
Cakes, don't blow all that. You got 1% to pay out over here.
I know. I the 1% club.
So what is that? What is
Grab,
it? 40 bucks?
43 bucks or something.
Yeah, yeah.
40 bucks you guys got coming your way.
You think we weren't sweating?
Well, after taxes, it's probably like 25 bucks.
I'm sure I'm paying taxes.
Yes. Of course you're paying
No,
taxes.
you're
you
not.
donate.
No, of course I'm paying the tax.
Right.
I'm an
Cakes.
upstanding citizen.
Right.
That's Johnny Cakes in Aruba. The update of how I did. Good job, buddy.
All right, boys.
All
I'll see you
right.
soon.
Congratulations,
Remember, Brooks
pal.
Lyke from the Washington Capitals joins us coming up at 8 o'clock on The Fan.
1067 The Fan. Traffic. Driven by